Hey, what's up, guys? It's Super here. I just quickly wanted to make a video on the 9900KS just to kind of say my thoughts on it and if it's really worth getting for this laptop. Um, so I have gone through about 4 different CPUs of this thing already. I had the 9700K that came with it, 9700K, and then I switched out to an 8700K. I moved to the 9900KS, my first one that I had, and then I went to a 9900K standard, and now I'm back to the KS again. Um, Mike Gerson is probably gonna kill me soon, but I'm sticking with this thing now. So I was just trying to do like a lot of testing in here to see like how different CPUs ran in here, and I just wanted to get an i9 for it because I was just like, why not? So the 9900K got really hot, like up in the 95s, with Phoebe and Nanogrease Extreme on here, and have the undervolt about the same, like 130.9ish at 4.7 gigahertz. Because if I went to 4.8, it just had a fit, and it didn't want to. Would get really hot using an insane amount of wattage out of nowhere, just by going that little tick higher. But on the KS, even on the one that I had, because the other KS that I had could only achieve 4.7 gigahertz max, at roughly the same undervolt, and it would have a lot of errors and it would like freeze if I try to do anything. So I guess I got a better quality chip this time, because I'm able to do 48 now, and I'm doing 4.8 gigahertz on all cores, with no throttling, because there is a power limit problem with this processor that I really want to point out. Like, that's one reason why it's kind of iffy, because if you get a KS and you put it in here, the power limits in the BIOS are going to be set to 131 maximum on the PL0 and 1, or the 1 and 2, whatever it is. And if you push the CPU over 120 watts, it doesn't like that, and it'll throttle it to hell. So you have to stay under 120 watts to actually make it sustain the clock speed you want, or it'll just start to like downclock itself slightly to stay under that threshold. I really do feel like if Dell updated the BIOS to support this thing, it would definitely work pretty well. Because right now, with the undervolt that I have, if I use TS Bench to just push this thing real quick, with the undervolt that I have, it stays at 4.8 solid, and the temperatures really aren't all that bad. They climb up to about 80. No, they climb up to like 75 to 80. But on my 9900K, the normal one, I was well over like 90C while at 4.8. So the fact that I can achieve 4.8, I'll run this one more time. The fact that I can achieve 4.8 while staying at 115 or whatever, like the average is 115 watts, like that's crazy. And I'm staying under the threshold. There's no throttling going on. Now, if I were to stop this, and let me just be stupid right now. I'm gonna try to put it to 5 gigahertz. Actually, I don't know if that'll really fare out too well. It might freeze, but we'll do like 4.9 just so I can give an example. Because 5 gigahertz, it'll try it, and then it's gonna like lock my system up. I already know that much. So we're just gonna leave it at 4.9. Because it'll try to go to 5, and then it might freeze, but like, because it's not hitting the power limit yet. But it'll just do it quicker, because I know I can't have an undervolt that strong with it. So we'll do 4.9, leave the undervolt the same. It's gonna have a bunch of errors because I have to put the voltage up more, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So PL2 starts to hit pretty hard, and then here you'll see like the clock speed is like 4.8.89, so it's not exactly, I have an errors now, so it's not exactly like 4.9 like I have it set to. So that's what happens if you hit that power limit. Like once you go over like 120 watts or whatever, it just starts to throttle itself down. Now, you could technically get like 4.8, maybe like 0.40 or something, but to me it's just not worth, letting the laptop struggle to adjust that. So when I undervolt it, to like what I have it set to now, and do a little 4.8 on it, it just stays at 115, and then that's it. Going to 4.9 on this thing pulls about like closer to the wattage that my 9900K did, and then going past that I believe 5 gigahertz on this would honestly work fine if it supported the wattage from here. But this CPU is like really efficient with like the way it is. The bin quality is definitely pretty decent. Say at 4.8 all day, like no problem. And then the way this thing scores is like crazy too, because I know this is a better bin chip. I've never, like, I don't think I've ever like won a silicon lottery like that. But getting, paying to, already have the bin quality like in your hands is just nice. So I mean, like, this CPU, so there's a lot of different KSs here. So like, this was my first KS that can do 4.7, and at 4.7 gigahertz I achieved a maximum Cinebench of 2023, and then at 4.8 I got a 2068 tonight. And then this 9900K that I had, it was at 4.9. It was also super hot, like 90, 97 or something stupid like that. And I got 2075 because it did end up throttling just a little bit. But the fact that I can stay under 90C while, you know, like, or the fact that I can stay under 80C at all times while gaming on the CPU, and then like on Cinebench it stayed under 80C as well, and get this kind of score is nice. And usually I was scoring always over 2000. Like on the 9900K I would get like, you know, 19, like sometimes I would get like 1980 and 85 and 2000. It was very spotty. So I mean, this thing definitely feels like really good, and I just decided to go back to it because I was just like, you know, I can't get the 5 gigahertz out of it, but at least I get a hold of a, you know, a good CPU before they like stop selling them or whatever's gonna happen from what I'm hearing. And you know, I got the 5 gigahertz like in my hands if I ever, you know, let's just say I were to get a desktop or something, like with Intel 10th gen coming out. I mean, like, they're gonna have 10 cores, which I'm not really too fascinated in, and I feel like, you know, maybe by then AMD might have something that'll surpass them, but I can see myself taking the CPU and just switching it in different systems if I were to like use it. And it was just, to me, it was worth the money. I was just kind of complaining about it last time because I was like, oh, I want that 5 gigahertz, you know, or whatever. But when I realized that, you know, I'm staying with this laptop and a 9900K gets way too hot, and I didn't really want a 9700K anymore, I was just like, you know, I really didn't have a choice but to get this thing because it does stay really cooled down with this chip because it doesn't use as much power. And the fact that it's limited, just, you know, it's kind of good because you don't got to worry about it using too much wattage. But at the same time, if you want something higher than 4.7 or 4.8, then I mean, you might as well just get a 9900K and delit it and go through all that mess. But I just wasn't trying to do all that, so I just got the KS. But I do feel like if the BIOS ever supported the CPU in here, it would definitely run. From the two that I've had and from the wattage I've seen them run at, this one I think is better than the other one that I had. But I mean, they're all gonna be within the same margin. They might be like a 15% like difference in bin quality since you're already paying for like, you know, better bin quality as it is. Like, I think if they supported the CPU for this laptop, it would definitely run at 5 on all cores, like, you know, pretty decently. Granted, you have the right thermal paste and stuff. I'm using Thermal Grizzly right now. I'm gonna switch it to Nano Grease Extreme at some point when I have the time. But like tonight I just threw some Chironaut on there to just, you know, get it over with, and I put a little like pea-sized dot, whatever. And then my GPU is undervolted to 925 millivolts, which I've been able to achieve on this thing too. 1995 on the core, 7600 on the memory, and I'm locked here, and I'm able to I get like 74-75C on it maximum while running max fans, especially since the CPU is running cooler. And tonight I did a 3D Mark test, and I'm just going to show you real quick my results. So on Time Spy, this is my highest ever with this laptop so far. So 11562 on the GPU, and then 10883 on the CPU. And that was at 4.8 gigahertz. So if I was able to get 5 out of this, I would easily get like 11400 or something. I mean, this processor just feels like it works, you know, really nicely. In here, I mean, it does suck that it can't get to 5, but at least it can stay a lot cooler and not get so crazy hot. You don't have to go through the trouble of delitting. So honestly, I feel like if you guys can obtain this thing before you know, it does sell out or it's not sold anymore, I would definitely grab one. If you know, even if you have a Clevo or whatever, it's definitely worth it. It runs cooler out of the box for sure. I'm almost certain that there's no difference in like the solder or whatever's on it, but at least, like, you know, you don't really have to go through the trouble of delitting it, and still have 5 gigahertz out of the box and possibly have a chance at pushing, you know, 5.1 or 2 while consuming less power, which kind of just offsets you risking your chip. I'd rather pay $150 to get this and have it run like good out of the box versus like you know, delit a 9900K and then risk like the tool breaking the CPU or something stupid happening to it. So, I mean, that's just mine. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say it's worth getting. If you have the money for it. I paid about 644 after taxes, so 644 total, and the 9900K was like 449, and like 483 or something after taxes at Micro Center. But I mean, I think it's definitely like worthwhile to look into at least. But yeah, I mean, it runs decently. You know, all my games are good. Battlefield 5 was getting about like I think like 72 maximum on this thing while it was being pushed at 4.8, and my 9900K was getting like 86, 90, like it would just jump all over the place, and I wasn't really too happy with the temps on that thing. And that was with Nanogrease Extreme. I haven't even put that on this CPU yet, so I might apply some Nanogrease Extreme here within the next few days or so, and hopefully my temperatures will be even lower, and I'm still running, you know, this nice like 4.8 is just kind of where I wanted to be. And I'm definitely happy with that. And at this point, this CPU is actually running cooler or about the same as my 9700K was, which is even crazier. So I'm pretty impressed with it. I didn't really take much time to get into it last time because I was all over the place with what CPU I wanted in this thing. But I would definitely say this thing is worth, you know, getting and throwing in here if you want a CPU that, you know, runs cooler and definitely, from what I'm seeing, a bit faster too out of the box. So, if you just want to save yourself some, you know, 95C fun time. Alright, thanks for watching. I just wanted to kind of go over this because I don't really see any videos on this. And, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.